All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Keep It or Sell It. And today we're talking about the Engl Savage MKII. Let's get started. Well, I had this amp out on loan to a good friend of mine, TJ Richardson. He was using it for tracking on his new album for his band Salvation's End. And I just got it back, well, several days ago now, but I finally got it back up on my rack and everything. And I honestly haven't played this amp in a while because, well, he was borrowing it, and I have a billion amps here, so it's not like I come down here every day and cycle through all my amps before I go to work, you know. So I hooked it all back up, and I take pictures of my amps, you know, before I lend them out to people so that I can remember my favorite settings. So I put it back to my favorite settings, and I'm literally going to play this for the first time since I've gotten it back and see if I want to keep it. I mean, I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna, but I mean, who knows, man. So anyways, let's go through all 4 channels on this amplifier, starting with the clean channel. And as you see on the screen here, I have the amp up there that I'm playing, and I also have the, getting confused here, I have the, yeah, there it is. It's opposite land here when I'm looking at the monitor. And I have the Mesa 212 with the vintage 30s, and the Royer 121 and the Shure SM57 mics. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the pictures off now, because when I put the amp up on the screen, I don't know, it just looks kind of stupid with the pictures there. So let's take the pictures down for now. I'll just go through each channel one by one. So we're going to start with the clean channel right now with no effects, and then I'll play a little bit on it and show you some of the switches and knobs and crap, and then I'll dress it up with some effects after that. All right, let's dress it up with some chorus, with the Julia chorus, and some delay with the Flashback 2. That's a great clean channel. I mean, there's nothing I would change about it. It's very musical, it's chimey, it's warm, it's full, it's, you know, it's everything a clean channel should be. So let's go over to it now, and I'll show you some of the stuff associated with it. I'm actually going to get out of my chair. Isn't that something? So you have the input high and low. So if you have really high output pickups like actives, you can turn the input down a little bit to attenuate for that. And then you have the bright switch here. I'll show you how the bright switch affects the sound of the amp. I got the effects back off so you can hear everything clearer. Just adds the right amount of chime to the top end of the clean channel without taking away from the warmth or making it too much, you know. So let's see what the pre-shape button does. Definitely, I think it scoops out a little bit of the mids there. So yeah, it just got a little bit thinner. So yeah, I mean, depending on your pickups, you might want to use that knob. So that's actually a cool knob to have. So let's see if contour affects this particular channel as well. Pretty subtle, you know. I think that might add a little bit of mids to it. I don't know. I never read the manual on this freaking thing, so I noticed something going on there, but I'm not going to be one of those guys that pretends to know. So, but there's a subtle change there, nothing major. For some reason, I prefer it off. Maybe there's a bit of a, added a little bit of, I wouldn't say harshness, but a bit of an edge to it, I guess. So So yeah, so that's the clean channel. It's a very good clean channel. Again, nothing I would change about it. Sounds great with some chorus and reverb or delay or whatever you want. So let's move on to channel 2, which is crunch 1. It's a nice crunch channel. And I have the overdrive off. The overdrive I'm going to use today is the Mesa Grid Slammer. So, but it's off right now. Let's just hear what it sounds like with it off, and then I'll kick on the pedal after that. Very nicely voiced channel. So let's switch over to that camera now, and I'll just mess with the settings a little bit on that and show you what it'll do. Again, the overdrive is still off, so let's see what we got here. So I like it with the contour on because it adds this really nice mid hump to it that, I don't know, it just makes it richer sounding to me. And I really like how it fills up and pops out of the mix a little better. And it just sounds a little fuller to me. So let's mess around with some other settings. So the mid lean and mid bold knobs are pretty subtle, but in the room and probably me with my my headphones on, I can really hear the difference. It's subtle but definitely noticeable. So with it engaged with the light on, you're adjusting mid bold. With the light off, you're adjusting mid lean. So let's see what the mid lean knob does. So depending on what you like, obviously you can adjust these any way you want. And I like how they allow you to switch between the two knobs and adjust things accordingly, and you can save those settings, And that's the thing, this amp also has a noise gate, which is really cool. And you can save all the settings that you set up. You also have 2 presence knobs. You also have 2 masters on it. So yeah, it's a pretty kick-ass amp, and it's MIDI, so you can switch everything on it. In fact, I'll show you that right now while I got the camera on the amplifier. So here's my rhythm channel. It's already on that, and then there's a clean. You can see how it switches. And then channel 3 is my lead or super heavy channel, or even my rhythm channel at times too. So yeah, it's really nice to have that ability there. And it was really easy to program as well. All right, so I'm going to play some riffs on this channel the way I have it set up. It's honestly, this is the sweet spot for this channel. It sounds amazing. I'll start with the overdrive off, and then I'll engage it and show you the difference. That channel is great if you want a good amount of gain, but you still want a lot of clarity. It's a little more open, it's less compressed, and it just gives you a lot of clarity. So if you're doing a lot of articulate stuff, or if you're double tracking or quad tracking in a studio, it's not so full and thick and rich that the tracks will kind of mush together, you know. But there's a lot of great clarity there. I think a lot of people would really like that channel a lot. It's actually a really good channel. It's kind of like the Badlander. It's very sculpted and not overly compressed or has too much gain and too much aggression. It's just got a really great articulation about it, and it breathes really well. You know, it's really open, and but it's got a little bit of compression in it, and it really takes a boost pedal really well, and it sounds great with a boost. Play some more riffs for you with the boost pedal on. Just do a quick mix for you with it. I think it would be kind of cool to hear this channel in a mix. It's been a while for me. I'll just do one of these typical ones. Give me a second here. All right, so now I'm going to demonstrate the clarity that Channel 2 has. And, you know, there's a lot of riffs out there that people play that just, you want that gain, but you also want that clarity, and there's a delicate balance between the two. And one of those riffs is Bark at the Moon. I mean, that riff is super aggressive, and it's freaking gnarly as hell and difficult to play. And but you need the clarity so that you can hear all the nuance that's going on in there. And if you have too much gain, I mean, all that stuff just gets lost, and there's a lot of open strings and, you know, trem picking and all kinds of crazy stuff going on there. So you definitely need some clarity for that. So let's go ahead and hear Channel 2, which is Crunch 1 on this amplifier, and hear how great this channel sounds for riffs like that. And just listen to how articulate and clear everything is. All right, so now let's move on to channel 3, which is a pretty quirky channel. Now that channel has its uses. You know, I think it sounds great as a one-off channel for like some leads with a wah or something like that. I'll just do a couple riffs on it for this video and just show you what it sounds like. So let's switch to channel 3 now, which is Crunch 2. So here's the settings for it right here. Yeah, it's a pretty quirky channel, so let's hear what it sounds like. I'm just going to go ahead and leave the overdrive pedal on. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this channel. Yeah, it has a different feel to it, and yeah, it's I don't know what to call this channel. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just really quirky and unique, and honestly, it's kind of a secret weapon in this amplifier. And like I said, if you engage a wah pedal and have some delay on it and stuff, it just sounds incredible, and it sounds really spooky and eerie. So let's cut back to the camera on the amplifier, and I'll show you what the contour and rough smooth settings do with this particular channel as well. So as I said, very, very unique channel, but I'm glad they put it in there because I've found that it's come in handy from time to time with some leads that I play. And if I want to get real spooky, this channel will definitely get there for leads. I don't think it's a great channel for chords and stuff, but maybe some single note stuff. But leads, I think, is where this channel shines, is you know, regarding spooky, eerie, creepy stuff. I think it does that stuff very well. I mean, if Jack the Ripper played leads, I'm sure he'd probably use that channel. You know, that's how spooky it is. So, so now let's move on to channel 4, which is the money channel on this amplifier. I mean, it's just got all the fire in it that you'd ever want. Let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the overdrive pedal and switch to that channel now. So that channel has a lot to offer. It's very full, it's more compression in it. It's like a brick. It's just really thick and heavy and beefy, and it has a lot more gain and a lot more aggression to it than channel 2, which is the main crunch channel on the amplifier. And that was with the overdrive off. So now let me play a couple riffs and engage the pedal and show you how it changes that channel. Yeah, that channel is super aggressive, super full, got some more compression in it, very rich sounding. I have the contour on right now because I actually like what it does to that channel. It adds that little bit of mid hump to it, and it just gives it that richness. You know, it fills it up between the low end and the top end. There's just like this sweet spot in the mid range where it just fills it up and makes it freaking glorious. It darkens it up a little bit, but it still pushes it forward in the mix at the same time, because the guitar is a mid-range instrument, and when you push the right mid frequencies, you don't need all that top end for it to cut through. You just need some good mids, and they found the sweet spot on this channel with the contour switch, and it really makes a big difference with it. In fact, let me switch the camera over here, and I'll show you. I'll go ahead and turn the mids, the contour on and off for you and show you what it does. It makes a huge difference. So I like it with it on. It actually sounds a little thicker to me. But if you want more of maybe the EVH kind of tone, just turn the contour off and then you'll match the top end aggression of that amplifier. But with the contour on, you still get the top end aggression, but it blends in those upper mids with it, and it just makes it thicker on the top end. And I really love the richness of the tone when you do that. So you also have over here, you have a gain low and high button. So if you want a gain boost, again, you could program this amplifier. So if you want to use channel 4 for rhythm and lead, you could totally do that and program it so that when you go to your leads, it'll turn that gain boost on, and then you can have a little more gain for your leads. So I'll show you what that does now. So that is a ton of gain. You'll never use all of it, but I mean, it's nice to have that headroom, right? So yeah, it doesn't get muddy when you engage the gain boost. I mean, it just adds a little more aggression to it. And when you find your sweet spot for the rhythm without the button engaged, then whatever you get when you engage the button, will be perfect for leads, and it really has a lot of great sustain, fullness, and good feel to it as well. And again, I love the richness that you get in that channel, especially with the contour engaged. I mean, they really found a great sweet spot for that contour button. I mean, as soon as you engage that, the amp comes forward more and it gets thicker, and I just love how it sounds. And as you notice, I have Master B engaged for the lead channel. That way I can have a lead boost if I want. So it really is nice. And you also have 2 effects loops. So that's also really good. And then the depth boost, instead of having a depth knob, they found a sweet spot for the low end and just gave you a depth boost. You could turn that on and off. And in fact, I'll just show you what that sounds like right now. So yeah, I mean, this thing really does have a lot of great features. Again, it's programmable, runs off MIDI. You have 4 great channels on it. One's a little quirky, but I'm sure a lot of people would find that channel very useful, and that's channel 3. Again, if you have this amp, try channel 3 with some reverb and delay and a wah pedal, and it just really comes to life, and it sounds so creepy, man. It's like Halloween coming out of your speaker when you're playing through it. It's just awesome. All right, so now let's do a full mix. Let's do the Sphinx before I end the video here, and just hear what this amp sounds like in a full mix. So channel 2 will be the rhythm channel I use in this particular mix, and then channel 4 will be the lead channel. Well, there you have it. That wasn't the most perfect performance I've ever done, but it's 7:30 at night here, and I got to get to work. So I got 42 trucks to wash tonight. So it is what it is at this point. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And yeah, I'm going to keep this amp because it's freaking amazing. I love channel 4 on this amplifier. It's so unique and so awesome at the same time. And yeah, I haven't played channel 2 in a long time, and I like it better than I remembered. So I really do like that channel as well. I think it would be a great channel for tracking because, again, it's got so much clarity in it, and it's less compressed, a little more open, and you could stack those tracks on top of each other, and I think all that clarity will still remain. And I just think it's amazing. But man, if you just want to play live and have tons of awesome gain and fullness, and have a channel that'll do it all, channel 4 would be just amazing for that, because you can, like I said earlier, you can adjust the gain perfectly how you like it. You know, switch back to the camera here for the amp. You can adjust the gain just how you like it for rhythms, and then you know, program the amplifier so that when you switch to your lead patch on your digital platform or whatever your controller is, you can have that gain boost to have that really awesome lead tone, you know, and have all that great sustain and aggression and fullness and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just a lot of great things about this amplifier. So it's still one of my favorite amps to this day, and I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. It's just freaking awesome. Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And to all my subscribers and Patreon supporters, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And everybody who's buying the preset and capture packs for the Quad Cortex and the Kemper from my website, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. I've been looking for ways to support the channel, and that has been a huge help to the channel. Instead of just asking for money or whatever, this way you get something, you know, in return, more than just content. You actually get something that you can enjoy as well beyond what the channel offers. You can have something amazing for your Kemper or your Quad Cortex to play through, and people are really digging them. So if you have one of those units, you know, the Quad Cortex or the Kemper, feel free to go to my website. The link is below, tonewars.com, and get an awesome preset pack or captures or profile pack for whichever unit you want. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy them. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with new episodes. I have a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.